21 onwards. Matthew chapter 5 verse 21 onwards. Let's read this passage. Matthew chapter 5 verse 21. Matthew chapter 5 verse 21. Chapter 5 21. Let's read chapter 5 verse 21. Matthew chapter 5 verse 21. You have heard that it was said to those of ancient times, you shall not murder, and whoever murders shall be liable to judgment. Whoever murders will be liable to judgment. Next, verse 22. Everybody read. But I say to you, if you are angry with a brother or sister, you will be liable to judgment. And if you insult a brother or sister, you will be liable to the council. And if you say, you fool, you will be liable to the hell of fire. Next one, verse 23. So when you are offering your gift at the altar, if you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, see, when you are coming to celebrate the Holy Mass, after this session, we are going to have the Holy Mass. When you come to celebrate the Holy Mass, if you know someone has something against you, or if you think you have something against somebody, or someone has something against you, then before you celebrate the Holy Mass, you have to reconcile with your enemy. Reconcile with them. So now when I say reconcile, you may have many questions in your mind. Father, if I don't know how to reconcile. If I go and speak to them, they will get angry and the problem will become worse. If I make a phone call, they will be upset. They may even misunderstand me. So how do I reconcile? There are many ways to reconcile. First, if possible, go and speak to them. Whoever may be. Go and speak to them and say, I'm so sorry. If I have hurt you knowingly or unknowingly, I'm so sorry. I never intend to hurt you purposely. It happened by mistake. Please forgive me. When you say this, they will bring all the accusation against you. Please don't justify yourself in front of them. Just accept whatever they say. Even if they are wrong, just keep quiet. This is what Jesus did when he was accused by the Pharisees and Sadducees. He did not defend himself. He just kept quiet. And we just keep quiet and say, I'm so sorry. If you think you have no control when they accuse you, and there is a possibility that you will react and you will justify, it is better not to go. Praise the Lord. It will create a problem worse. That means you need to be humble. You need to work on yourself first, and only then you go. First, you have to be humble. Learn how to be humble. Only a humble person can stand in front of all the accusations in silence. Jesus was so humble. That is why when he was accused from all the corners, he could keep quiet. He was silent. Only because he was humble. First, you have to be humble. Otherwise, don't go to reconcile with anyone. It will create out of control. First thing. Secondly, if you think you cannot go now because you are not enough, you are not humble enough, then the second thing that you can do is send a message. Very polite, humble message without justifying you, but saying only asking forgiveness for all the hurts that you caused, inconvenience and pain that you caused. Just send a message. And after that, if they send another message justifying them and accusing you, just pray for them. Don't respond to that. What you have to do, you have done. That is enough. Praise the Lord. The third way of doing it, third way of forgiving, reconciling with your enemy is, if you go and reconcile, first of all, you cannot go. Secondly, if you go, it will go out of hand. Third, they are so violent, they may even attack you. So the next level, the way of forgiving is, imagine that your enemy, suppose Tony is my enemy. He's a good person. So Jeremiah is enemy. Oh, he's also a good person. So somebody is my enemy. Suppose somebody is enemy. And I imagine my enemy is in front of me. and then I just kneel down. Imagine that I'm kneeling down in front of my enemy. Today we will do it during the adoration. We will do it. So, kneel down in front of them. Imagine that you are kneeling down in front of your dad, mom, brother, sister, husband, wife, children, parents, whoever hurts you, whomever you hurt. Imagine they are there in front of you and say, I'm so sorry. Beg for forgiveness and forgive them and pray for them. This is all we can do. And the Lord doesn't expect you to do more than this. But it should be from your heart. You should do it from your heart. If you do this, that is a reconciliation. Praise the Lord. Now let's read. We were reading Matthew chapter 5, verse 23. So when you are offering your gift at the altar, if you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go first to be reconciled to your brother or sister, and then come and offer your gift. Because only then your prayers will be acceptable in heaven. That means if you have something against anybody, some unforgiveness, or someone has some unforgiveness against you and you never reconciled, it can block your prayer life. It can block your gifts. It block your prayer life. Now next read verse 25. Come to terms quickly with your accuser while you are on the way to court with him. We have to reconcile with our accuser, the one who is against us. We have to reconcile, at least in our mind. If not physically, meet them, because sometimes our accuser dangerous accuser, maybe your husband, your wife, dangerous. So then, okay, at least in your mind, you should reconcile with your husband and wife and children, parents. Otherwise, or your accuser may hand you over to the judge, means because if you don't reconcile with your enemy, those who destroyed you, cheated you, abused you, you will be handed over, spiritually handed over to the judge, and the judge, the guard, and you will be thrown into prison. What kind of prison is talking about? What kind of prison? Is there any prison in heaven? Is there any spiritual prison in the world? This is not about the worldly prison. This is about spiritual prison. I was talking about the imprisonment in the beginning, right? Many people are in the prison of hatred, prison of blindness, prison of unforgiveness, prison of lust. So here, this prison, you will be in prison means you will always say, I'm okay. I have nothing against anyone. But you have unforgiveness inside. Even if everyone tell you you have unforgiveness, you will say, no, I have nothing against anybody. But at the same time, you cannot speak to certain people. You cannot pray for the certain people. You cannot reconcile with them. When that person comes to you, you are so uncomfortable because you are in a prison. And this imprisonment, it will affect you in every relationship. Praise the Lord.